It is confirmed. Some changes to the stimulus package that you need to know about. And the latest reading on the jobs market just released. All of that to be covered in this video. Let's get into this right away. But hey everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I'm here for you every single day with all of the latest updates, just like what we're going to cover right here in this video, and maintaining my commitment to you and this community as a whole, which is to be here every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as information continues to change very rapidly during this time, and I want to make sure that you're taking advantage of all the money and benefits you can possibly get your hands on right now. So again, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into this right away. All right, so it is confirmed. Some changes on the stimulus package that we didn't exactly foresee coming since yesterday evening. However, late into the night, the House Rules Committee was actually working. So if you happen to see my video from late yesterday evening, I said, hey, at this time, I haven't really seen anything. They were planning on voting yesterday, and sure enough, while I was making that video and while all of us were sleeping, they were actually working on this. Well, maybe not all of us were sleeping at that time, but probably most of us were sleeping. The House Rules Committee was actually working on the final text and the revisions to the reconciliation bill. Why? Because they were bringing it to the floor today. Now, it is actually confirmed this time that they will be voting on the two packages today. Now, I know we've heard this many, many times now over the last, month and a half, 2 months now? We've been hearing this? Well, it is actually confirmed this time that they will be bringing these to the floor today. So let's talk through the details that we need to know about this. So Steny Hoyer confirmed late last night that they will be bringing these bills to the floor for floor action. Now, the House is actually convening at 8 a.m. this morning. Actually, as we speak right here, right now, they are actually in session because I'm recording this video after 8 a.m. So therefore, they are working on this right here, right now, this morning, working on this bill. So here's how this is going to lay out and the strategy behind all of this. So they actually did make a couple revisions to the reconciliation bill late last night. One being they extended out the negotiating period for the pharmacy prescriptions. Remember that? So now it's going to be 13 years rather than 12. So again, they extended out by one more year. That was one of the requests out of, it sounds like Kirsten Sinema. But here's what they're going to do on this. Remember, the progressives have been saying this whole time, they need to pass through the reconciliation bill before they will support the infrastructure bill. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to be bringing to the floor a series of different votes today. So there's going to be like 3 votes today alone, provided all goes well with the first couple. So here's how this is going to happen. They're going to bring the reconciliation bill to the floor in the House today. They're going to set it up for a procedural rule vote. It's a practice test. So it's basically a practice vote. They bring it in and they basically just vote on it. And it's kind of like a little litmus test to figure out, okay, who's in favor of this thing? Do we have the necessary votes? It's literally just kind of like testing the water, right? Before you jump in the pool, you dip your toe in and feel like, am I going to get into this or am I going to take a pass on that one, right? So it's kind of the same situation with the procedural vote. That's going to be going down first. Provided all goes well, they'll be following it up shortly thereafter with the actual real vote on this reconciliation bill. Now, the text on this thing, again, has expanded to about a little over 2,100 pages, when previously it was about 1,800 pages. So hopefully they were able to read through the rest of the text overnight or early this morning at some point. Hopefully they were able to read through that. But that is how the series of test votes will go, provided that passes. Now remember, only if that passes, then later in the day, they'll be following it up shortly thereafter with the final votes on the infrastructure bill. That's the $1.2 trillion bill that was passed through the Senate about 2.5 months ago. So that's the series. But remember, for some reason, if these votes do not go well on the reconciliation bill, then Nancy Pelosi will probably scrap the vote on the infrastructure because she needs to make sure that the other votes pass first before they actually do bring the other one to the floor for the final vote. So, whoa, seriously, it's actually happening. I know we've been saying this for a long time now. I know we've been saying this, but here's the deal. We're going off the information that they continue to give us, but here's the thing. They actually confirmed it this time that it will be happening this time. Now, the strategy behind this is to plow forward with the votes on this, even though they don't have all the senators on board with the actual text of the reconciliation bill. But the deal is today, when they bring that procedural vote, they're going to negotiate a little bit. They're going to maybe make amendments. They're going to kind of talk their way through this thing, and then they're going to vote on it. Then, provided it passes these votes, they're going to push it over to the Senate right away. Chuck Schumer has said he's going to bring it to the floor as quickly as possible for a vote. Does that mean maybe later today? Well, realistically, probably not today in the Senate. Could it possibly happen over the weekend? Possibly. They've already indicated that they may stay through the weekend if they do not get their work done today. Or basically they said yesterday. Well, obviously they didn't get their work done yesterday, so that would mean today. Could they possibly do it over the weekend? Possibly. Otherwise, they may need to come back in a few days here and kind of run this thing through. According to what Chuck Schumer has indicated, they want to get this thing passed through the Senate as quickly as possible. So we will see. Remember, just because it gets through the House, that does not mean it's a done deal. It has to get through both chambers. It has to go through the House, and then it goes on to the Senate, and there we could see some opposition. If it gets passed through there, then of course it goes on to the president. However, remember, it also could pick up some amendments in the Senate, right? So that's the thing. If it does pick up some amendments, we've seen this happen before. In fact, we saw this with, what was it? The American Families Plan, the last stimulus package? I believe, yeah, it was that one. When it was in the Senate, it picked up a few amendments, and then it has to go back to the House and voted on once again, right? So we have a little bit of a voting process ahead of us, but today sounds like it's going to be a busy one when it comes to the final votes on this package. So, very interesting, but finally, they've confirmed this time. Usually previously, it's always just been about like, oh, we're going to do it today. We've never really seen a confirmation, but this time we have pretty much confirmation. So pretty good stuff here, right? All right, so of course, I will keep you posted on that as we get more details. All right, one more quick note. Well, I'm going to get into the latest reading on the job market, but one thing I wanted to mention quickly. I've seen a number of you down in the comment section, not too many, but a handful of you reaching out saying, hey, what was the baby for Halloween? Well, here's the thing, to be totally honest with you. So we were going to make a video for you and bring her in and show, but let's just be real, Halloween was a little bit difficult. It was just a little rough around here. Let's say that much. So ultimately, we did not get that video. However, my plan is later today with my next video or maybe the one after, whenever we can probably kind of make sure things are good, I'll bring her in and we can see what her little costume was. But it's pretty funny. So hopefully you can catch that video later and I will show you what it is. So stay tuned for that coming up. All right, let's quickly talk about the latest reading on the jobs market that was just released this morning. Now, this number is released the first Friday of every month, and it pertains to the previous month. So in this case, we're talking about the job market as of October, right? So the October reading came in this morning, and they call it the non-farm payroll. So it tells us how many jobs were created in the month of October. Well, it came in at 531,000 new jobs were created last month in October. Now, again, we have to remember, too, this is probably a lot of seasonal workers that are coming in. In fact, I just saw an article yesterday. One company, UPS, United Postal Service, you know, the brown trucks that drive around and drop off little presents at your door? Yeah, everybody loves a package at the door, right? So anyway, they are alone are hiring 60,000 people right now for temporary work. 60,000, just one company. So yeah, as you can see here, there's a lot of companies that are going to be hiring for the holiday season right here for the next couple months, right? So anyway, but the jobs market came in, the jobs reading came in at 531,000 new jobs in October, and the unemployment rate went down to 4.6%. So again, there's probably isolated areas throughout the country that are much higher, maybe possibly lower, but just the average all around 4.6%. Now, yesterday, the initial jobless claims number came in, and that gives us a reading of how many people applied for first-time unemployment benefits in the previous week. That was at 269,000. So 269,000 people last week applied for unemployment benefits for the first time. So anyway, it's always interesting to watch these numbers because remember, a lot of the stimulus and all these programs and everything like that is predicated on the job market. Everything revolves around the job market. Why? Because that's what generates tax revenues, right? You got to remember. So anyway, so I hope this helps you out. Again, pretty exciting. We'll have to see what actually happens out of all this whole thing. But I imagine there's going to be a bunch more drama thrown down today because there always is when it comes down to these times like this, when it comes down to the voting, we'll see if they add any amendments, if they make any changes, or what goes on today with these votings. But don't worry, I'll continue to keep you posted. I imagine it's going to be a pretty busy day, so I'll be back later in just a few hours here with the next update. By then, I would imagine the first series of votes will probably be completed by then. Just considering that the House was meeting at 8 a.m. today, they're already into it for a while now, right? They've been there for a while already, talking through it. So literally, they are in session right here, right now, as we speak. So they're working on it, and I'll come back and give you those updates as we work our way through the day. So enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this. Stay tuned for that video later, where you can get a little sneak peek at the Halloween costume and the latest updates, of course, as well. So anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below, share this video, and go back and check out some of the nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel. All right, I'll catch you again later. I'll see you soon.